Weaving is the interlacement of threads. And the kind of weaving that I do is on looms. But I prefer looms it's called multi-shaft looms. And these looms can pick up and put down threads. This is a 4-shaft, and the shaft are these things that go up and down. And you can see when they go up and down, they're lifting the threads up and down. Okay? And by doing that, then I can make patterns. I'm using my feet, and those are treadles down there, and they are what is lifting the threads up and down. I started weaving in college, and I was in teacher training, and they had us take art classes in college. And part of art programs in the colleges at that time, and that was in the 70s, were to have looms as part of their curriculum. Really liked it, and so when I got married and moved to this area, we bought a loom for me to bring with. I belong to the Handweavers Guild of Peoria, and that is a group that has met since the 70s when I moved into town. I didn't start it, but was lucky enough to find it. And they have had lots of instructors over the years. And so I've had the advantage of learning from them and going to conferences and learning weaving. And then I was able, because I was a teacher, to then start teaching on my own or some for my guild. So the process of weaving, I have a shuttle, and I have yarn within the shuttle. Here I've got a different kind of shuttle. This is called a stick shuttle, and it's got a wool yarn on it, the thicker yarn. This is called a boat shuttle because it looks like a boat, and it's got a bobbin in it that goes around, and I can pull thread off of there. I prefer to use the boat shuttle if I can, just because it's an easier process to weave from that. So the process of weaving is 3 steps on this loom. It is to push down those treadles that lifts the yarn, so that's step number 1. It is to weave the yarn through, so that's step number 2, and then I beat it down. And so this thread then goes right next to the last thread in a straight line. I am a planner. And so when I started to think about retiring, I thought, I have to have a plan because I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And so I thought about that teaching was something I could do. And so I started buying up some older looms in the area. And so I bought up about 10 looms. And my idea at first was to take my looms on the road. And I named it Looms to Go. And so what I didn't realize was what a lot of work that is. So we built this cottage, and then I was able to teach here. When I first started it, I think I just hoped for the best. These are different techniques you can do without weaving back and forth on some of it. This one is like you'd make a rug. It's little pieces of yarn that you weave in and end up with a nap on it like you would on your carpet. It's important to me to keep weaving alive and going. And it is difficult for people for these bigger looms because most people don't have access to a bigger loom. And so I'm able to provide that. Most of my classes are for beginners or people that want to learn, maybe the next skill. And so this week I'm teaching actually a couple of classes over the next couple of weeks. One is that I'm teaching online is going to be how to set up your loom. Because sometimes people get looms and they get defeated because they can't get them set up. Weaving, to me, is like never-ending fascination. There's so many different things you can do with it. There's patterns and texture and color. There's objects. I love to figure out how to make things, and then to combine it with teaching has just been a joy for me Weaving can be frustrating sometimes because it doesn't maybe turn out the way you wanted it to, but it also can be amazing that it turned out better than you wanted it to. I think the creativity that people can get from these classes, they really enjoy, and just a new way to experience art. A lot of times people will knit or crochet, things like that, but they've seen weaving, but they don't really know what it is. And when they finally find that it is something that they can do, that is kind of the eureka moment. And I love teaching. I feel like that's maybe my superpower. I don't know. But I enjoy bringing people here, having them try out weaving. People are just fascinated with how quickly and how easily they can weave and make something that looks really beautiful.